Now let us choose a desire which you want to manifest in the next 21 days. And I'll show you how to do the inner work. Because if what you want hasn't occurred yet, it's only because it's waiting for you to change your energy, your emotions, your reactions, and your state of being. Once you change your energy, you change your life. And the exchange method of manifestation allows you to shift yourself energetically. And then what you want finds you. You don't need to chase it any longer. You attract it. It's the law. Now let us choose your desire. What is your priority right now? What life aspect do you want to improve first? With the exchange method, my students manifested all the possible desires, from a simple trip to Bali to meeting a life partner, or moving abroad to life-changing desires and goals, buying a dream car, appearance change, a trip to an island, a move abroad, getting engaged, meeting like-minded friends, that's soul tribe, attracting perfectly aligned clients. So once you know what exactly do you want to attract, we move to the inner work. Step 1 is to find beliefs, those limited negative beliefs and fears which are holding you back. And these things are just memories of the past. Most of our beliefs are not even ours. They are imposed on us by the society, by people who raised us, by even television and movies, by experiences of other people, or our own negative traumatic experiences which changed our brain. Reprogramming limiting beliefs is the most life-changing exercise we can ever do, because once you do this, immediately your reality starts to shift, starts to change. I will give you the algorithm how to reprogram limiting beliefs, and all I need from you is implementation. Means only once you apply these things, you receive results. For this exact reason, we will be doing this inner work, this reprogramming right now together. So you will need a notebook with a pen. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna uncover what are those negative beliefs which limit you, which you might not even be aware of yet, but which live in the subconscious mind. I'll share several examples. I never have enough time. It's just a belief. Once you change this one, you suddenly have enough time to accomplish anything because it's all in our head. Life is difficult and no one cares. That might be a result of some traumatic event happening to a person, but then this person keeps believing this way and keeps attracting the same life. I am a shy person. A belief is just a belief. Or I am bad and God doesn't love me. This one is a very dangerous one, because if a person has this type of belief, that person constantly feels guilty, constantly feels unworthy, not consciously, but subconsciously. That's who that person is. Or things never go my way. Or I'm a lot like my parents. I'm just not a lucky person. Or I'm not smart. Or I gain weight easily. Just a belief. Of course you do if you believe this way. In the next 3 days, I will ask you to write down, create a list of your limiting beliefs. 3 days of observing your mind and noticing these repeating thoughts, these narratives, and writing them down immediately. 3 days is enough to find those and create a list. However, right now we are starting. Take one belief that you have, which you know that doesn't serve you. Take one negative belief and let's do the work together right now. Whatever you believe in, you attract. From the scientific point of view, it's our brain, the reticular formation system, which constantly finds confirmations to our beliefs. From the law of attraction view, we attract what we believe in. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we feel. We attract who we are. That is why once you change these narratives, your reality changes, and it happens so quickly that it's extraordinary. So you took one of the beliefs, one which you want to change. What we need to do to reprogram it is we need to find a source of this belief. And when did you first received it? Let's take an example of money is hard to make. It is a belief. And where did it come from? Maybe you saw on TV or in a movie someone who achieved big success through extreme hard work, losing relationships on the way, losing health. Or maybe you saw your own parents working that way. Or maybe it was your own experience. Let's find a source. Who was that person who imposed you this belief? We are not blaming the person, we are just finding a source so that you could start living your life. And let's remember the age when you first started thinking this way. How old were you when someone told you this story? Or when you experienced that event yourself? The power of this exercise is that once you understand where this belief came from, you separate yourself from it. It's no longer you. It's just an old program which now you're ready to rewrite. In order to reprogram it, all you need to do is to cross it. Once you will be doing the work with the list of your beliefs, I'll ask you to cross out the old belief and to write your own life rule, which you want to be manifested in your life. Instead of that limiting belief that I need to work extremely hard to get what I want, the new belief should be the opposite one, the empowering one, the one you want to see in your reality. For example, I make big money doing what I love. Once you wrote down the new rule of your life, the new belief, all we need to do now is to program your mind on the new story. Let us do this exercise together right now, and this exercise will show your brain why it's so important to finally change that narrative. I'll ask you to close your eyes. It takes 1 minute. And to imagine 2 chairs in front of you, and you sit on the first chair. This first chair is a chair of the old belief. That limiting belief that you just crossed off, for example, that big money is very hard to make. And while sitting on this chair, think about where does your life go if you continue believing this way? Just imagine the outcome, the future, if you continue believing this way. Remember, you only receive what you believe you deserve in life. You only receive what you believe is possible. So with this negative belief, you only receive a confirmation. Only working hard, only losing someone on your way. Not getting what you want. Just for a second, observe that timeline. And now I'll ask you to sit on the second chair, which is the chair of the new belief. Imagine yourself switching. You sit down on the second chair of the new belief and feel the change in energy already. How much lighter it feels to be in this reality, where you believe in the new life rule which you just created. And I'll ask you to imagine the future of a person who thinks this way. Your future if you have this belief. How much easier it is for you to get what you want. How much easier you receive things in life if you have this belief. And remember this feeling. This is actually who you really are. You are unlimited. And remember the emotion of freedom, of joy, of relief. You can stay in this feeling for as long as you would like. And this state of being is what you receive once you reprogram that old narrative. Now, in order to anchor in this new belief, you will need to constantly search for confirmations in your reality. Once you set your brain to do something, it will find confirmations. You will suddenly get information about someone, a person who lives this exact way, for whom achieving success was not hard, who is making big money by doing what they love, for example. Just for the next week, set an intention to search for confirmations of your new belief, and your reality will show you. This is how we fix the new belief. And also, in order to reprogram that old narrative, I will ask you to set this new belief as a wallpaper on your phone. And every time you take your phone, you will need to read this one and remind yourself about this feeling of your future. Remind yourself about who you really are. Repetition is what shapes the brain. Repetition is what changes neural pathways. And with time, doing it daily, consistently, that all belief will fall off naturally. And I'll ask you to also be very aware if the belief which you are changing is from one of the relatives, maybe from your parents, from some person who you love, and now you are changing the belief imposed by them. You might catch a feeling of guilt. And I'll ask you to be very careful here, because guilt is the most self-destructive feeling. It's the biggest trap of the matrix, the biggest illusion which are keeping people playing small for years. There is no room for guilt because you are simply choosing your life. You are choosing to live the life that you want and not to repeat the trauma of generations behind. You have the right to create any life. You have the free will, you are the creator. And by now choosing to change those old beliefs, to create new life rules, you are healing the generations behind you. Their souls are grateful to you if you are the first person doing this work, if you are the first person breaking free. Doing the inner work and reprogramming these limiting narratives is the best thing you can do for yourself and for the world around. Because if you want to change the world and make it a better place, we need to become better ourselves first. We need to start with us. And now you know how to anchor in the new belief. So I will ask you to repeat this algorithm with each limiting beliefs you will find. Create a list of your new life rules and anchor in them by finding confirmations, by repeating them again and again, teaching your body emotionally how it feels like to be this person. And the more determined you are, the faster your dream life finds you. And also, by doing this work right now, you are committing that now inner work is your lifestyle. Because those people who do this inner work, who change their beliefs, they receive what they want, for example, those dream relationships. But then they might come back to communicating with the same people, and that old environment might start influencing their mind, and they might come back to the old self, forget about what they did. You need to maintain this work. Every single morning I reread the list of my new life rules. Every single morning I choose what life I want to live. Every single morning I rehearse how I want to act, how I want to behave, to not to default back to the old self. The environment is very strong and seductive. So every single morning, before stepping into your environment, remind yourself of who you are and who you no longer are. Remind yourself of those old beliefs, old programs of the old self, which you no longer want to think. Do the work every day. This is the rule. For just half an hour every morning, but once you start seeing these changes in your reality, you will start doing it even more. You will become even more motivated and determined. Now you need to overcome your environment, to not react to it any longer, and to stay committed to your new beliefs. Every trigger and every situation from the past just reminds you to focus on your new beliefs. What you program your mind on is what you attract, and every time you don't react to your environment, it's a victory. You execute a willpower which is greater than those old programs. And as a reward for these victories, your reality starts to change. So this is the algorithm of reprogramming your mind and changing your reality as a consequence. And with the exchange method of manifestation, because you are making a commitment to yourself and you keep a promise to yourself, for example, to start waking up at 6 a.m. for 3 weeks, for 21 days, consistently with no excuses, the fact that you are keeping the promise, getting up when the body doesn't want to do it, and being disciplined, this is how you show your body who is the boss here, not those old programs, those familiar old narratives, but you and your new life rules. Do you understand now why you shift your energy with the exchange method? Because you are keeping the promise to yourself and you are teaching your body that now you are in charge, not the old familiar programs, but you, and it gets easier for you to manage your emotions, choose your reactions, and choose your thoughts. This is why eventually the brain becomes quiet and you feel this peace. You wake up with high energy, you live this way, it becomes your norm. The exchange method is a win-win. Step 3 of inner work: is to write a description of what you wanna get. We only need 4 details for your desire. For example, your desire is to grow your business. Then what are the 4 details? For example, 10 clients a month. The second detail is that you wanna work for 2 hours a day maximum. The third detail is that you wanna work only with like-minded, solely aligned clients. And the fourth detail might be that your work makes you feel fulfilled and you know that you are making a difference in the world. For example, only 4 details are required to have this detailed description of what you want. So I will ask you to write down a detailed description of how you want the goal to be fulfilled, what's important to you. And while writing it down, teach your body emotionally, close your eyes and feel. This moment is happening right now. How does it make you feel? The thing is that if you are able to connect to this desire with your body, with your mind, and feel this moment as it's happening right now, it means that the potential is already fulfilled. According to the quantum law, the material manifestation comes last. Before that, you connect to it energetically, you feel this moment like it's already happening. And it means that in the quantum, this potential already exists. It will find you, it's the law if you don't default to the old self. So when you connect to this desire by imagining the moment of its fulfillment, you are teaching your brain, and the brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality. It believes that it's already happening, so you are priming your brain for the future experience. And you only need to do it once. And you do not need to visualize anything daily. You simply need to feel worthy of that desire. You need to feel that you deserve it. The exchange method helps you to feel worthy, to feel confident, and then it finds you. It's the law. This third step of writing a detailed description with 4 details of your desire, I will ask you to do before falling asleep, so that your subconscious mind could do the work while you are sleeping. The fourth step, detachment from the desire, we will do in the lesson number 5. And now in the next 3 days, you will create a list of these limiting narratives, beliefs and fears about this life aspect which you've chosen as a priority. Then do the reprogramming algorithm which I just taught you, and create a detailed description of the moment how your desire manifests with 4 specific details which you wanna have. If you do this work, you deserve so much respect. And I notice in my students that those who do this work, who overcome the resistance, the laziness, they start receiving results very, very quickly. So it all depends on your desire. Do you want to change your life? You have the tools right now. This information is being sent to you because you had a request. You've been sending the signal to the universe that you wanted to change your life. Here you are. Receive, apply, and receive your dream life as an exchange, as a reward. Thank you for your attention. I will see you in the lesson number 3.